and all the other places on Al Gore's internet, you're probably like, why are these two still up on a Monday night? Because we talking about verses. And we was like, we should just go live and talk about verses because we both have what things going on this week. But Natalie was like, but I want to talk about your thing because I like your thing. And I was like, I want to talk about your thing. And she was like, I want to talk about your thing. So we was like, we could talk about our things together.
No, we're talking about Niquosha's thing. Attorney
You're so
Anderson's
modest. I just love you. You're so modest.
I'm
But we can
something.
talk about my thing. You know, I can be a little cocky, humble.
Great. Okay. So let me tell y'all this the spiel. Okay. So you're watching this because you love us and because anytime you get in squared, you learn something. And so today we're really going to talk about the power of, I know, right? Today we're going to talk about the power of exploding your revenue and your brand trust and your thought leadership with licensing. A lot of people look up to me and think, oh, I wish I could do what Natalie's doing on Facebook. But the truth is, it takes a lot of time and energy to do the consistent content, to do the consistent, that's fine, to do the consistent outreach, to do the consistent poking and prodding and feeding the content bearer. So I really wanted to come and talk about an advanced strategy that maybe isn't as out of reach as people think.
It's
Um,
not.
it's not. And so that's why I wanted to come on here with my good sis and let you all know. First, I'm going to let, my beautiful friend introduce herself in case you don't know her already. And then I'll give y'all like 10 seconds of why you should care what I'm talking about. And then I will start with my interview.
Okay, cool. Well, hi everyone. If you don't know me, my name is Nicole Shane Anderson. I am a business and intellectual property attorney and founder of Anderson Law Firm, where our sole purpose is to make sure you are not robbed of what's rightfully yours. Because as a creative, you are out here creating to earn money, and nobody want to be robbed, right? Because that's why we have doors. That's why we have locks, security systems, and all these things. The same rules apply for the things you create, and my job is to get you to the tools to help you be protected from the people who want to steal from you. Okay? Exactly.
Not the
That's it.
people who want to steal.
I mean, they gonna steal, but we don't want them to, right? We just don't want them to. Don't nobody want to steal. I mean, I don't want you to steal. I mean, right? Right.
I appreciate your candor, that you don't want them to steal.
But they
Just
will, and so in the event that they do, you want to be protected. And this is one of the key ways that you can take the thing that you are creating. This is the one way you can take the thing you're creating and actually protect it and make more money for you. There are billions of dollars in licensing, and we as a people, we as creatives
Mhm.
are missing out on these opportunities because we are thinking pequeño. We are thinking small, and we need to think big, grande. You need to think grande and not as in Taco Bell. But that is a form of licensing. And we can actually, I can use that as an example. Number one, you know how like they got the Dorito Locos Tacos?
Yeah.
That's licensing because they took Doritos branding and
Hmm.
applied it to their product. They did not have to reinvent a cheesy, crusty seasoning base for their crunchy taco. They leveraged the branding and industry audience of Doritos and combined it, and voila, that's a licensing deal. Taco
Hmm.
Bell ain't got no factories talking about some, oh, not nacho tacos, me, please. No, they went on over to Frito Lay and said, hey, man, we got these tacos. We got similar audience. We have
All right.
similar structure. Can we get together?
Hmm. All right. See, I'm already learning stuff. So here's what I feel like people trip themselves up when it comes to licensing.
Tell
So I know a lot of coaches, consultant service providers who are doing less than $1 million a year, who are selling courses or podcasts or programs that are specifically for micro businesses, solopreneurs. So they're
me.
an SEO consultant. They have a course that's for a brand new coach to set up their own SEO. I feel like most people feel that their content or their IP is either too niche or too beginner to be of usefulness to a large corporation. So, can you talk a little bit about how a person can utilize what they have and maybe some examples of where you've seen unorthodox usage that would make a person like me a candidate for doing licensing, even if maybe I didn't see it yet.
Oh, I love that. So we have two examples. So you talked about SEO, and I can throw you in there too because you know I'm smart like that. So let's say SEO, right? With SEO, we know it's a course you develop. Let's say our person. Should we give them a name? Anyway, so our person, Bethany. Bethany has developed an SEO course, right?
Mhm.
And Bethany is like, well, Natalie, N Squared, Nicosia, I don't know how to sell this. Following what you said, well, Bethany, corporations will actually buy that because we live in a digital age, and digital marketing is where it's at for a lot of businesses, and they want to tap into that. And so, in order to tap into that, they need to have fast learning for their teams. And that means that unless they are living with an in house educational consultant, which most corporations do not have, they need your product to expedite the learning for their workers so they can produce outputs much faster so they can get to their profit. Remember, we live in the United States of America. We live in a consumer land. We live in an entrepreneur enterprise. So this is very great soil for you to thrive and sell your course. But you're likely thinking, I don't know how to do that. Well, one of the key things that I'm going to make sure I mention in Licensing 101 on Thursday, March 21st, is how you can actually bridge the gap with access. Because oftentimes these gurus online that teach you how to do the one-to-one marketing, but what you actually need are tactics and strategies that's going to get you to these larger corporations. And that's hard to do if you don't have that experience. But I also don't want you to narrow your focus to just corporations. Think bigger. Remember, we talked about grande and not the tacos. I want you to think about the government. The government is the leading buyer in the United States of America. And guess what? They got money. You just got to figure out which branch and division and segment of the government can benefit from an SEO course. All of them, actually. So you make it viable and make it what's the word? Palatable. There we go. Come on, vocabulary. Palatable for them to want to buy it. Now, each place you go will have different ways they buy, and you do have to get educated on that, but they still buying and in large chunks. I'm not talking. So let's say your course was what, and her course is like $1,000 now. I think that's about average, right? So if you got $1,000 course, let's think about it this way: if you got $1,000 course, and you want, and they have departments that consist of hundreds of people, 1,000 times 100, what's that? That's like 100,000.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it be nice to sell something for 100,000?
Oh, for sure. And like
instead of 1,000. And how long is it taking you to sell that 1,000?
That's the part I was about to talk about. Anybody who sells a course can tell you, unless you got that funnel dialed in for evergreen, it is not easy to move courses right now. I do not sell a ton of my course. I mean, it's out there, but I feel like when you look at corporations, like when I worked at Wells Fargo, we had continuing education courses we had to take all throughout the year. Some of them were monthly, some of them were quarterly, and some of them were on, Bank Secrecy Act and things like that. But some of them were on like mental health and using your benefits, things that anybody could have done and packaged up and sold. And the entire enterprise had to take even the CEO of Wells Fargo had to take this certain number of coursework. So, if you're thinking, oh, your individuals don't want courses, think of every job you've ever had. They have courses to train you, courses for onboarding, courses for sexual harassment. It's a video and some questions at the end, right? That's a course. So
that is a course to demonstrate knowledge gain.
Right. And they do it for compliance. You have to be able to say, I took this course and I scored up a score of whatever, and it goes into your permanent HR file. Yep. So that they can say, oh no, this person did know about sexual harassment. Oh, this person did know.
We are a drug-free environment, and
exactly.
What that really meant, because a lot of these corporations and government, they are advocates for drug-free policies. So they have to be able to explain to their workers. So if you are a therapist or a psychologist or someone or a drug counselor of some sort, and you have a program that talks about how drugs are actually in the workplace, Hello, HR consultants are looking for you.
I can see that. That's really cool. So, what you're telling me is that most people watching actually do have an asset that
Yep.
they could license.
Most definitely. That is the common myth that I always have seen is people think I don't have anything to license, Nicole. Sure, I'm not big enough. I have not been selling enough. I have not hit this imaginary threshold in my revenue that makes me worthy to sell. Here's the deal. If you have a course and it is transformative and people have gained some type of value, transformative value from your course, you are primed and ready for licensing. You are primed and ready for licensing. You are primed and ready for licensing if there is some form of transformation with your course. So don't think you have to hit this imaginary target. I call it the speed bumps that we put in the way to slow ourselves down. And mind you, we the ones putting these speed bumps, not the world, Craig, us.
Don't get me started on that. Don't, because yeah, a lot of the speed bumps are self-inflicted, you know. So your masterclass is this coming Thursday.
Thursday. Yes, it is March 21st at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Pacific. So I'm super excited to be able to share this knowledge for individuals to learn more about licensing and reveal, like, let's unveil the mask. This is not Scooby-Doo. Like, I need for you to understand that this is not some scary monster that you have to wait to conquer at a later date in time. This is something that you can actually do now and earn more money now, because often we are battling energy challenges, family challenges, time challenges. You are probably dealing with capital challenges. Hello, somebody.
Yeah, a lot
Hello.
of people are. I think you hit the nail on the head. Honestly, there's only three ways to grow a business. Period. You can sell at a higher price,
Yep.
you can sell at a greater volume, or you can increase how long you keep the clients you have, thus increasing client lifetime value. That's it. And for a lot of people, if you're selling B2C, if you're selling direct to an individual, you find these folks don't have money like they used to. 2020, 2021, people were flush with cash. They had that COVID money. Everybody was experiencing a COVID boom. People were home. They were going back to college. They had more time. They were learning. They couldn't travel. So they had a lot of surplus cash because we couldn't eat out. Wasn't really any reason to go shopping because you ain't had nowhere to go. What you gonna buy clothes for? You can't leave the house. Like, people had a surplus. That surplus has since been depleted because the world has been back open about a year. And even though COVID has subsided some, it's kind of our new normal. We're really gonna have to accept that COVID is here to stay, just like influenza. And people do not have the money that they used to have. Now, some people are still doing okay. Their businesses are growing, and that's a blessing. But I'm finding more and more that if you're selling direct to individual, those individuals no longer have the budget to be able to invest. And I hear it more and more. Natalie, I would love to be able to buy, but I would love to be able to buy when my client pays me. And so now they're trying to wait on getting paid to be able to pay me. And if the cart closes, because baby, I don't play. When I say my cart closes, the door slams shut. Now they on the other side of the door. They outside in the club in the parking lot because they can't get in.
Now I'm outside in the club.
Yeah, you outside the club
I'm a punk.
because you think I'm a punk because you ain't come with your paying full and now your time is up.
For sure. I don't think people understand that when they don't pay you, it's a triple effect. But when you want to go to resources that actually have guaranteed money, for example, nonprofits are in a lot of need because they have a large educational gap. And you're like, well, nonprofits don't have no money. Not all of them. That's not true.
That's not true. There are lots of nonprofits with money. I actually have a client who's a consultant for nonprofits, and her services start at $50,000.
Boom.
And she gets it. So there are nonprofits with $1 million budgets.
Yep.
And they are at liberty to be able to use those budgets strategically to bring in more dollars. And depending on how that nonprofit is structured and what they're doing, because it doesn't have to just be courses. I've seen people license a talk.
Yep.
I had a peer
TEDx is
that
actually a nonprofit.
yeah, I had a peer that was able to come in. Was it Dress for Success? It was Dress for Success or a similar firm, a firm that helped women who have been displaced or who have been
Oh
in
yes,
abusive
I've heard of this.
relationships.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So you donate clothes. I've donated clothes to Dress for Success, but she actually was contracted to come in and speak to those women about job readiness because they didn't have anybody in that particular location that could help women with actually getting back out into the workforce. So they Dress for Success was giving them the clothes, but not the education and the knowledge.
To
And these
bridge
were
the
women
gap.
who've either been incarcerated or in shelters, or they've been displaced from their home, cut off from their family. They don't have a support system. They usually didn't go to college. So trying to get them up to speed with how to get competitive in a marketplace that has shifted light years since the last time they actually had a job. You can't just give this woman a suit and say, go crush it.
Nope.
You got to give them some education. And she actually got paid to do those talks for this particular Dress for Success location. So I think there's a misnomer that people are like, oh, I have to sell to the end user. And that's not always the case. And it's
No.
not always who really does the best with your services. I hate to
No.
say it, but a lot of the businesses people sell to, it's not even the right target market.
It's not. For example, right? Let's just take these HR consultants or specialists, right? If you are an HR consultant and specialist, you're likely, oh, I need to go to the corporations. No, you actually need to leverage yourself, and you probably would do better by going to insurance companies.
Tell me more.
The reason why is because if you go to insurance conferences and networking events with insurance people, they're trying to decrease their payouts. They're trying to decrease the number of claims that they have. So if they shore up knowledge learning with the people who have policies with their companies, they can decrease that. They can decrease their ability to with these claims. And if you, as a person who's paying this insurance company, says, oh, insurance company, I need a discount. I need to reduce this policy rate. I need to do this. They're saying, cool, we'll reduce your policy if your people go take this course. We'll reduce your rate if you go do this, because they're shoring up the window of risk. If I educate you, my risk goes down. Your risk goes down. Your risk profile goes down. If I educate you, these are unconventional ways that you likely are not thinking about. And these are the things that I will be teaching on March 21st, because you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. So if you don't know what you don't know, can we find somebody who do know? Ding. Me.
I'm a fan of that. Okay, so talk to me about what people can expect when they register for the masterclass. I know you've got tiers, so talk to me about my options. I like options.
I love options too. Don't they make you smile? They make me smile.
They do.
So with options, we have two. You are correct. So there's a general admissions ticket, which gets you access on Thursday, March 21st at 2 p.m. and also gets you access to the replay. Yes. Negotia, is there a replay? Yes. Negotia, is there a replay? Yes. But you will only have access to it on a limited timeline as a general admissions holder. And that ticket is $100 flat out. Okay. Now, if you are fancy like me, there is also a VIP ticket. The VIP ticket comes with access to a pre-workshop Q&A. So that means you get to come early and get access to me on an early basis. You get to ask your questions with other VIP holders. Now think about this. If you are an industry standout, wouldn't you want to be around other industry standouts to network and learn? Because if they are valuing education the same way you are, these are likely people you need to be connected to. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying. So that's one benefit of being a VIP ticket holder. The secondary benefit is you get access on the lifetime of the replay. So you get access to that. And hello, somebody. You get access to a private feed of the replay on podcasts. I know that I do a lot of learning in the car and I turn on a lot of podcasts. Yeah. So sometimes I don't want to keep all that on my phone or my device that I'm listening to. So with a private podcast feed, you get access to it. You can rewind it, bring it back, hit play. What she has said, boom, All of that is available to you as a VIP ticket holder and more. So I really, really hope that people will take advantage of this. This is life-changing information. It can definitely change your life. 2 tickets, first one general admission, second VIP. And with the VIP ticket, you get access to more resources to even further your building of this model for your business. Licensing is where it's at.
I love it. Okay. So what I'm hearing you say is I need to be at the workshop,
Come
but
on.
it sounds like that's really just like the first step.
It
So if
is.
I decide to myself, okay, I need to stop playing. I know that I'm gonna get a taste of what I could get, but if I really want to move forward, what does it look like if I want to partner with you to be able to make licensing a serious linchpin of my 2024 revenue plan?
Oh, so you're trying to get people to unveil. You just want me to just rip the band-aid out. You just want me to tell folks. I
I'm
mean,
just
it's cool.
saying,
I ain't got no problem.
somebody might be watching this thinking,
you probably can't make it, and that's
I can't
okay,
make
babe.
it Thursday, but I need to get this done.
Let's monetize your IP. The package is called Monetize Your IP. I have something directly for you. And with this Monetize Your IP, we have 3 phases of working together. And I'm not going nowhere for 180 days. If you don't know what that is, that's 6 months. We're going to be together. We go together real bad. And in the midst of that, we are going to analyze your assets. We're going to make sure that what you have is actually viable and ready for a licensing model. And if not, we're going to shore up that gap. And then once we've identified the asset that we're going to actually implement in the licensing model, we're going to protect it. So you know how NeCourtia's out here selling trademark packages and copyright packages. Guess what you get in the Monetize Your IP?
What?
You get those packages. You get that package. You get it. You sure do. You get it. It's all included. Filing fees too, boo. All included. And then once you utilize some of the strategies that we're going to teach you on your licensing, what I'm going to personalize just for you. This is not no cookie cutter approach. This is a one-to-one. So you're not in a group setting. You are not having to, oh, of course, you exposing my IP. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? I told you I didn't want you to be robbed, baby. I don't want you to be robbed. So one of the key things is we're going to work on a one-to-one, and we're going to build out your licensing agreement. And I'm going to help you negotiate so you can get all the money. We are going to make sure we don't leave no money on this table. All of that's included in Monetize Your IP, and we go together real bad for 6 months.
I'm a fan.
We'll do.
Okay, I see you. So I think that's good information for people to have. So we've talked a little bit about the benefit of the corporate buyer, but I always like to be balanced and talk through maybe who is this not for. So is there anybody offhand, any type of service provider or any type of service that you would say, you know what, if you're in this particular circumstance, you might not be ready yet to pursue the licensing model?
That's a really good question. And we know everything ain't for everybody.
Right.
So one of the key things is if you know that you do not have your course or your digital asset or some form of product that's outside of you doing the delivery, this may not be the best workshop for you, because this is structured to take a product that's outside of you doing the delivery and leveraging that. Okay. So if you don't have that in place, this is not, you're not ready yet. Okay. You're not ready yet. It's not to say you can't, but as of right now, if you don't have a course or a digital product or something that's outside of you doing the delivery, meaning you've already done the work for a one-to-many foundation. One-to-many foundation means course, podcast, you have a series of speaking videos or something that doesn't require you doing the delivery. This may not be the best place for you to be. Now, if you still want to come and learn, I'm not going to turn no stone away. However, Monetize Your IP may not be, you may not be ready for it yet, and you may not get the best value exchange. And I don't want that for you.
Okay. I like the value exchange. All right. So where can people find the link to be able to register for the masterclass?
Well, come on. You know, I am a techie, right? And so we all know NeCourtia. Listen, that I love you. I love you for real. Like, I love you, my babies. And so one of the key things that I want people to know is it's okay. This little thing right here told me that I could talk about products. So I'm gonna go ahead and just drop this beautiful bean footage for you all. It is licensing 101. So if you need that, you can scan the QR code. Like I said, the general admission ticket is $100 and the VIP ticket is $175, but you get access to a ton of resources that just expand your licensing knowledge, as well as getting access to the replay consistently. If you come in on a general admission, you're only going to get that replay for a short window of time. So if you like me, where sometimes you just want to sit with stuff a little long, you want to be with it, hug on it, love on it, make it feel good, then you probably want to come in as a VIP. And remember what I told you.
Yeah.
The VIPs come in on a pre-workshop Q&A. So that means you're going to be around other like-minded individuals who invest in learning. These are people you likely want to connect with. I'm just saying. Licensing 101. I want to see you there. Nat, I know you're going to be, and it goes down in the DMs. Don't think I forgot about you. You know I'm a techie. Just in case, holler at her. If you want to go with her early and then you want to come to me after, that's okay. We she got something too. We in this together.
This ain't about me. Listen.
I know, but I love you, and you're my friend, and so you're my colleague.
That.
You're
Fine.
my digital
Y'all
colleague.
need to snap it quick because we finna switch back. Thank you. Okay, so click because I ain't got time for that. No, because here's the thing. Sales is immeasurable as a skill. It's very important. Don't get me wrong. And people watching this know down in the DMs is going to be epic. We are going to be launching high ticket hit list on the back of it for people who really want that deep dive to build out their social selling engine. However, once you have mastered the skill of sales, you still are not left with a business that has a legacy. And a lot of people aren't selling at a high enough price or a high enough volume to create a legacy. Because legacy takes cash. If you're the type of person that if you relate to being a Natalie that's willing to go out and pimp yourself on Facebook Monday through Sunday, 100 times a week, and deal with people's criticism and nitpicking and trolling and DMs and foolishness.
And controlling your uterus. It was a uterus post for me.
Baby, it's wild. But you know what? That post got amazing engagement. So I appreciate the trolls, because the crazier folks are in my DMs, the more enrollments I get for my masterclass. It's really interesting. I say this to say, though, it's still important for you to have revenue streams. And so I'm team high ticket. I think everybody should have an offer that is above $10,000. I think right now you should be selling something 10, 20, 30, 50, maybe even 75 or $100,000. However, in this environment, it's becoming less and less likely that you're going to be selling that package to an individual running business, a micro business. So even if you have a very high ticket offer, you probably still want to consider what it can look like to be able to attract a corporate buyer, because they have the budget. And even though the sales cycle might be a little slower, when you do make a deal, it was a deal worth doing.
It was.
A lot of times I meet people who are like, I can close somebody, but the most I'm getting is $1,000 or $2,000 or $5,000. Whereas if they could have been able to have volume, we were looking at a peers program earlier, right? They had a licensing model where they had to have a minimum of 10 licensees. So every time they're making a sale, they're making at least 10. At least.
And Bethany's product was 1,000. That's 10K right there.
That's what I mean. And so if you've got a program that's 1,000, and I mean, maybe you'll give them a little bit of a discount. I'm sure you'll talk through what your pricing options are.
We will do pricing structures for sure. And in Monetize Your IP, will determine which one of those pricing structures is best for the asset we're going to use.
That's what I mean. So like, long story short, if you're looking for a way to create longevity in your business and have bigger sales that happen with companies that actually have a desire and a need for your service, not a company or a small business owner that you've got to convince, I think this is a really important revenue stream. Nicosia, is there anything else that people need to know before they register for Licensing 101, and even more before they start to sell themselves on the idea of partnering with you for 6 months to be able to monetize their IP?
I think they need to know that it is possible and is doable. And you likely already have the ingredients to make this recipe the best you've ever seen. You likely are sitting on the ingredients we need to make a licensing recipe the best. And you just need someone to help you know you need a little dash of this, a little pinch of that. And once we put it together, right? Once we put it together, it's going to change your world. You're going to be like, why didn't I do this sooner? There are literally businesses that literally launch directly into licensing models. They don't even do the one to one because they know how lucrative the licensing model is. And I want to bridge the gap for coaches and consultants, especially if you're selling online with your courses, on how beneficial this can be and how easy it can be with the right person guiding you along to get that done. It is doable and we can do it, especially if you're getting ready to do something for summer. If you got summer travel, if you got babies, if you know that you may suffer from mental health and you go up and you go down and that has no fault of your own, baby. I know. The licensing model is something you definitely want to consider because it can be working while you are recovering. It can be working while you're traveling. It can be working when you really just want to sit still.
I'm here for it. I love this. I am so thankful that you gave Facebook and all our other affiliated platforms some love.
Yes.
I think that people watching this, if you're just tuning in, there's three things that you need to understand as a key takeaway. Okay. Key takeaway number one is that we are in a very competitive, very volatile, very different environment than we were just 6 to 12 months ago. And so if you are looking at this year's revenue forecast and it's starting to feel heavier to close those sales, you are going to need to do something different than you have been doing. Two, if you only sell to individual B2C, small business owner, micro business owner, you are leaving money on the table. You might have a course or a product, a program, a podcast that does not sell well in the market you've placed it, that could sell exceptionally well to a well-positioned corporate buyer. The third thing you need to take away from this is that you should not try to do this by yourself. Niquosha and I look at so many deals, so many websites, so many programs, so many offers, so many solicitations where it is evident that no legal counsel was actually involved.
Not at all, honey.
We can look at it and go, they tried to do
that ain't coming clean out the wash.
And this is not where you want to cut a corner. You wouldn't try to buy and sell your own home. You would hire a realtor. You would not try to, there's things where you want an expert. You would not try to perform surgery on yourself. There are lots of things where you're like, you know what? If it costs, that's okay, because this is going to have me set up, because you can set up a rinse and repeat system where once you get that first corporate offer under your belt, you're able to continue to do more.
Yep.
So this is the gift that keeps giving. You're not paying Niquosha for one time. Okay, we're going to get one deal done. We're going to get it done with Purdue and then we good. We set for life. It's not like that. You can be able to take this information to build future deals, because Niquosha is going to make sure that you have all the agreements that you need to be able to protect your IP and to be able to put those deals out there like clockwork. So when you do see people request RFPs, or when you do have an opportunity, you go to a networking event and you meet somebody who works at Deloitte, or you meet somebody who works at these huge companies, or even smaller companies, right? With 50 to 100 employees, you can say, I have this offer for you, and you're prepared. When you are in sales, preparedness matters. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. A lot of us lose out on money because we got to scrape and pull stuff together at the last minute. Have you ever had a grant that the application was closing the next day? Well, if you don't have your documents, your P&L, your balance sheet, your bio, your questions, your photo, your headshot, your website together, you lost out on money, because you're not going to be able to pull it together. Whereas somebody who is well qualified and has their documentation ready, they can submit that grant application in 35 minutes
or less.
And so that's what makes the difference here, is whether you are going to be well situated, because we all have offers. We all know somebody who's already working a corporate job that might be able to get in for us. We already have access to LinkedIn Sales Navigator. If we haven't made that investment, we could make that investment. So we're already around. You're already around corporate buyers. It's whether or not you are dangling the right bait for that corporate buyer to be able to come in and say, this is a deal that I'm interested in. But if you're not ever ready and positioned for the offer, then the offer is not going to come to you. I believe that God gives you what you prepare for. If you had a friend that was coming to visit you for a week, you would make sure that there was room in the cabinet. You would make sure there was room in the dresser. You would make sure there was room in the closet. You would make sure you had towels and washcloths. You wouldn't tell your friend, "Oh, just get in where you fit in."
No.
You would make sure it was welcoming for that person. So if you're telling me that per your annual forecast, you want to make sure that you close a 6-figure corporate deal, you want to make sure you have your licensing information up to date, you want to make sure that you snag a corporate buyer, then you can't expect them to get in where they fit in your current funnel.
It's not going to work.
It's not going to work. You're going to have to make room for them. You're going to have to prepare. And so just like you would prepare for a surgery, just like you prepared to get married, just like you would prepare for a road trip, just like me and you going to prepare for Paris, baby.
Ooh, Paris, here we come.
Yeah, it's going down. But just like we would prepare, we would not go to Paris and be like, y'all make room for us. We here.
And I know I'm going to speak a lick of French. So
and
that
baby,
ain't work.
I'm learning, but whew.
Thank you, Google Translate.
Right?
A license.
I'm hello, goodbye, and my name is okay. Like I'm getting there though. I got a French tutor. We
see you already ahead of the
game. We have a French coach. She don't like when I call her that. I have a French coach.
Get her name right. Put some respect.
Yeah,
on her name.
Leanne, like, don't be calling me that. Okay, we have a French coach, and she's amazing. And we actually meet like every week to practice my pronunciation. But like,
then I'm covered. Then I don't need Google Translate. I got Natalie Translate.
We're preparing. That's the whole key. And so you can't really, if December 31st, you have not gone to licensing 101. You have not purchased, monetized your IP. You have not taken a step with any attorney to make sure that you are prepared for these deals. Then you can't look back and say, I wish I had done more money. I wish I had closed a corporate deal, because you didn't prepare yourself. So it's very important that we do what we expect our clients to do. We expect our clients to make appropriate investments. We expect our clients to prepare. We expect our clients to take notes. We expect our clients to listen and learn and absorb our expertise. So we cannot step into the marketplace ill prepared and then say, this should have happened for me. This deal should have closed for me, when we have not done the appropriate investment. So I hope that you have snapped the QR code so that you can make sure that you are there on March 21st at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Nicole's going to be there for about 90 minutes, and she's going to go over in depth how you can add this as a revenue generator for your business that doesn't involve pointing and dancing on TikTok, that doesn't involve hearing, oh, I'm so sorry, I would buy, but I don't have $497 for your course right now. That doesn't involve people trying to rip off and steal your IP and go sell it themselves. Because guess what? McGraw-Hill don't need your money. When you sell to these big corporations, honey, they are not about to mess up their bag chasing and stealing your stuff. Okay. So if you're tired of finding your things in other coaches' communities, you need to swim in a different pond. If you've been catching tiny little fish, it's because you have a tiny little hook and tiny little bait.
Yep.
And so we're going to call this the Big Bait Workshop. Okay. And we're going to see y'all at the Licensing 101, aka Big Bait.
Big bait, take little bait. Ow.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm honored that you gave me your time today.
No, thank you for saying, let's go hop on the live. Really, and I'm like, look, let's do it. I was prepared, right?
We're shutting off registration Wednesday night.
Okay? Oh, yeah, it's cut off. I can't handle it.
And tomorrow, I'm getting my hair done. I hope you're doing some self-care as well.
Boo, I got my nails done today. You see it?
I see you. I just couldn't imagine having nails that short. Like,
listen, okay, first of all, shorty community unite. Number one, I can't type with the longy nails. I don't know how y'all do it. Y'all, you girlies, you clickety clackety girlies, we love you. We appreciate you. However, Karma Nicosia cannot be amongst you because she cannot make any money. And therefore,
now you can't make no money. This is short for me. Deketra cut me down. Not you hiding in the hair. She cut him down.
Okay, so I will admit that due to some things beyond my control, this right here is super short. They're usually not this short, but they are short. I will never have hang time though. Hang time, no ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am.
I need that.
Baby, I want to type. I want to be able to make some money. But nonetheless, You see how we had a conversation? You was like, hey, boo, let's go online. I was prepared. That
That's
means
true.
I had things in place.
That makes a difference. And this is what I'm saying. Like, people aren't usually not prepared. And so we can't say to ourselves, okay, this should have happened for me. It should have happened for me this year. It should have happened for me faster if we're not prepared. And anytime you are looking to sell in an entirely different model,
Ooh.
licensing is a very different model because you are selling the rights to use your IP for a specified period of time, which is very different than what most people are doing. At most, people are selling a individual license to one person. You bought my course, so you have access, lifetime access, which is problematic as well, because whose lifetime is it? My lifetime, your lifetime, the lifetime of the product? I've seen so many things where they didn't even specify the term of use.
And what if you switch platforms?
Right. And so, like me, we've switched from Kajabi to outside of Kajabi back to Kajabi. And because Unapologetic Wealth is decent, we have made sure that our clients have maintained access through our different tech changes. But you're absolutely right. People switch from Teachable to Member Vault and all of a sudden start talking about, you got to pay me again. And it's like, well, wait, I thought I had lifetime access to this. Oh, well, we added one more lesson to it and we moved it to Member Vault. And so now you got to pay me again.
It's new.
It's new. And it's like, I'm going to act brand new with you if you keep on. You're going to get lots of stuff that's new. You're going to get a new email and you're not going to like
okay. And so we're not going to talk about, future activities in this point. What future activity we are going to talk about is March 21st, 2 p.m., Licensing 101. I will be there. I hope to see you as well. If you have questions about licensing, this will be the place and the environment to get all those things answered and more.
Yes.
Get a general ticket admission. It's $100. If you want to be special like Nicosia, get that VIP ticket. It's $175, but it comes with so many additional resources and access to me, including a free workshop Q&A amongst other VIP holders. I'm just saying what I'm saying. That synergy and that transformation of knowing, oh, you came over here too. Oh, you like education too. These are the people that make the deals happen. You need to be in the space. That's all I'm saying.
I love it. We appreciate you all's time. I hope you have a good rest of your evening, and we'll see you Thursday.
Bye.